Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be building a Python desktop application which will be a browser such as Google Chrome or Firefox where you can just go to websites. So this is just a modern browser. Let me just launch this, a demo of this browser here. So you will see this is the custom browser that we have built here, which goes, this is a home page google.com. So here you can search for anything here if you search for anything. And let me just search for JavaScript. Press enter and you can just navigate to any page of your choice here. So this is just like Google Chrome here, and there are various options inside the toolbar. You will see the back button. So if you want to go to back, just press the back button and it will go to the back. You can see now if you want to go to forward, there is also a forward button which will go to the forward direction. You will see. And if you want to reload the page here, there is also a reload button. It will reload the page. And now if you want to go to the home page, it will go to the home page. You will see google.com. So these are the four options that we have configured to build a very simple kind of a browser such as Google Chrome. So inside Google Chrome, you will find these options: back, forward, reload, the home page as well. This is home page. So we have implemented these four options inside this desktop application inside Python. So I will be showing you how to build this browser inside PyQt5. This is a framework which is similar to Tkinter. So basically, if you just search here PyQt5, this is the library that we will be using to build this desktop application. You will see here. This is a very popular desktop framework for Python. So let's get started. For building this application, I have installed a very famous PyCharm editor for Python. So it is not necessary that you install this. So I will highly recommend that you install this. It's a free tool. So click the free option and download this. So you will have the auto suggestions on. So after that, if you want the full source code of this application, you can go to my video description link. This is the step-by-step tutorial blog post I have written where all the source code is given. This is a single file is there. So just go to the video description link to follow along with the video. So now let me just get started here. Let me close this and again open PyCharm. And here we will, this is the community edition. So here we will say new project here, and simply we will call this as a custom browser app. So we will inside this window. So you can see this will create a virtual environment here. So inside this, now we will have this file here, which is main.py. So now I will write the code here, guys. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to include our PyQt5 library. So for that, you need to install this library inside the virtual environment. So click the terminal option and here you need to install pip install PyQt5 and enter, and then it will install this library. You will see it will install the required packages. So after installing it, now we can say here from PyQt5. So you will see it will give me suggestions. So inside this we have some widgets here, which is Qt core. Inside this we need to import everything. So we will use the import statement, import everything. And after that, we also will need this again from this library PyQt5. So we will need this web engine widgets. So just write web engine widgets. So this will not recognize this because you need to install this also. So you will see this red statement. If you hover this, you will see cannot find reference. So for that, again click the terminal section and here you need to install PyQt. web engine. Enter, and now it will install this package also inside this virtual environment. And now you will see your error will be gone. If you enter here, now you can see the error has been gone here. And also you need to import the system module also. So that's it. Now basically we will make our class here. This is a very basic syntax in order to make any sort of application inside PyQt5 framework. So class main window, this you can call this any way. And here inside this we will pass here q main window, q main window, and enter here. So here we will define the function which is init, and inside this we will call our super. So it is saying red window is there, you can see. We need to import this widgets here. So now if you just click on this, PyCharm will automatically import this. So we need to import everything here, so we can say star here, that's it. So this will import all the widgets that PyQt5 has. So just you need to write these 4 lines at the very top. So let me just like this. And after that, inside this super method, we need to pass our class main window here. Pass this. And after that, we need to initialize this method, which is init. Enter. That's it. So after initializing this, guys, we need to have a browser property attached to our. You can see you need to attach this property. This will be equal to a widget which will be there inside PyQt5 Q web engine view. This is a here. So just call this. So after that, you need to set a URL. So self.browser dot set URL. So this is a method by which you can set a URL, and inside this we will make you use of another widgets which is QURL, and here you will pass the address of, let's suppose, google.com. You can pass here any website name. That's it. So now to display this inside a window, guys, we will need to invoke at the very bottom. We need to call this method here. So just after this class here, so indentation in Python is very much important. So just go outside here like this here, and here we will initialize our app here, and we will call q application. This is the method q application, and here we will pass system.argv argument. You need to pass this. After this, we need to set the application name. In order to set the application name, there is a method out there which is set application name, and here you can pass any name of your choice. I pass here custom browser. That's it. So it will be available on the title bar, and after that you need to initialize the window is equal to main window class. That's it. Store this reference. It's a constructor function. And lastly, we need to execute app.execute. That's it. This is the execute method. And now hover this, and there is some indentation problem. So enter it like this. So now we can launch the application. If you launch the application, you will see uh, it is just running here. You can see, I think it has launched it. Let me just see. Let me close it and just launch it once again. Nothing has been printed out. Let me just see. If you follow along with the video, just go to the video description link. Oh, sorry, we haven't added this central widget. So we also need to add this on the screen. So this we can do this by using central widget. You can see this is a method, and here you need to pass this browser like this. So if you just see this, you need to pass your browser. So browser is there inside the self property self.browser. And now once again if you run this, it will not show it because we haven't shown it on the screen. So now to show it, there is a method out there which is show maximized. So self dot show maximized. So this method need to be called here. So this will show the window here on the screen. So now if you run this application, hello guys, I found out the error which was there. If you just run this, you will see in the console here, this central widget method was too many arguments. So inside this function, we are making this mistake here. This needs to be set central widget, not central widget. So just change this. And now once again, if you run this, you will once again see a error because inside this super method, we need to put a comma here. We need to pass the second argument as self. That's it. So just make this slight modification. And now if you run this application once again, it should show you at this big screen and it will load google.com. So when you load the page for the very first time, you can change the website address to any website of your choice. Let's suppose youtube.com. And now if you open the application, now it will load youtube.com. So now we have built a very basic browser which is loading websites. So now we need to add this toolbar at the top of the browser here. So where this is the home button, back button, front button. So these four buttons. So let me do the thing for you. After that, we will just write a simple comment here, adding toolbar to browser. So for adding the toolbar, it is pretty simple, or toolbar or navbar. So we will just declare a navbar variable and make use of a widget called as Q toolbar. This is the widget. Just call this. And now to show this on the screen, it is simple. Self dot, and there is a method out there which is add toolbar. This is a method. Just call this, and you need to pass this as navbar. That's it. And now if you just see the screen here, you will see this is the grayish line which is added here at the very top here. This is called as toolbar here or navbar. So here we need to add the options here. So the first option we will add is the back button. So we will add back button to browser. So this is pretty simple. We will make a variable back button, and inside this we will make use of a widget which is Q action, and inside this we will provide the text here which will be shown to the user, which will be back, and put a comma here, and then we need to add this to the self. So we will write here self, and then we will say here back button dot triggered, and inside this we need to connect here. So whenever you press this button, this is meant by this code here. So simply we will call here self dot browser dot back. So basically this is a constant variable which lets you back to the browser. So now we need to add this on the screen. So we will say navbar dot add action. So this is a method. We will pass the back button like this. So now basically if you load the application, you will see there will be a back button inside the browser. So now if you want to go to back option, so this is a back button which is added. It will not work because we haven't added the functionality to go forward here. So now to add this, it is very simple. We need to add now the forward button also. And now to show you that functionality of the back button, I forgot to show you. So you can see this is, if you search anything here related to sports here, which is or you search here my channel. If I show you coding Shiksha, so now you will see this is the video here. If I play this video here, and you can see the video is playing, so we have this back option. So basically if I click the back button, I will go to the back option here, so you can see back screen. So now this, you can see that, so back button is working here. Now we will add the forward button. This is very simple. Similar to this, we will create our forward button. So now we will add forward button to browser. So we will declare forward button, forward underscore button. So this will again be a queue action. The text will be simply forward, and this will be added to the self here, which is self. And now we will add the action, whichever action that you need to perform whenever you click this button, triggered. So similar fashion, and we need to connect here self dot browser dot forward. So now if you click this button here, you will go forward. And now to add this button, it is very simple here. Simply now write here navbar dot add action, and you need to pass this variable here, which is forward button. So now if you launch this application, you will see the forward button will be added to the navbar. So you can see youtube.com is loaded here, and if you type anything here, if I load this video here, if I click the back button, you will see it will go back. If I go to forward now it will also go forward here. So these two buttons are working here very much successfully. So now similarly guys, we need to add the third button, which will be reload button. This will be very much useful also in those situations when you want to reload inside the browser. So now we will add the reload button to the browser. So for adding this reload button, we will make another variable reload underscore button. This will be again queue action reload, and the second argument will be self, and here we need to type here reload button dot triggered, and we need to connect the action, which action you will perform here. So here we will just have a self dot browser dot reload. So I think this is the, I need to cross check here because I think this is the, if you go to the video description, for reloading it, yes, there is a constant here which is reload, simply reload. So now after this, we need to add this to the screen. This is very simple again, navbar dot add action, and here you need to pass reload button, that's it. And now basically if you launch the application once again, now you will see the third button being added, reload button, and if you click this button, the website will be reloaded like this, you will see. And now guys, we need to add the home button also. So whenever you click the home button, it will go to the home page which you have set here. So now for adding the home page, the code will be slightly different. We need to add the custom function. For adding the home button, there is not a constant available inside PyQt5. For having this home button, we will write the comment first of all, add home button to browser. So we will declare this variable home button, and here we will say queue action, and the text will be simply home, and this will be added to self here, and this home button we will just triggered. So what action we need to perform here? So we will connect self dot browser dot, and there will we will be having the custom method. So go underscore home. So we will write this function, and after that we need to add this to the screen. So add action home button. So now we need to define this function, guys. So right here, we need to define this in the very same class. So indentation is very much important. So you need to see the indentation here. So just put it tab here, tab, and then define this function home button, and this will be self will be automatically passed to it. So this is there inside the same class, so that is why self is automatically passed. So now we need to set it. So the logic will be simply to self dot browser dot set URL, and inside this we will pass here QURL, and inside this you can pass here any website of your choice. Let's suppose the home URL is google.com, or you can set your own personal website to go to. And now the logic is complete. You can launch the application. If you launch it, you will see it is having this Q web engine view object has no attribute go home. This error is coming in. I think this will be related to, I think there is, if you check this video description, you will see navigate underscore home. So let's suppose I change this method to this navigate home, and also change this. Oh, sorry, we have defined the wrong function name. So just change this to go home. So this needs to be go home. So this is the function name that we have defined here. So that is why it was creating a problem. So once again, if you launch it, so this needs to be self dot go home. So just change to this. And now you will see the fourth button is added. The home button is successfully added here. If you click this button, it will go to google.com. So this is a home page that we have set here. You can set it to any website of your choice. So basically, if you go to any web page, if you click the home page, it will go to that home page. That's it. So all the four buttons have been added, but the real functionality is missing from the web browser, that this text. So inside a real browser, you will see this text field where you can enter a website name, and if you enter, then the web browser will go to that URL. So this is a thing which is remaining in this custom browser. So we need to add a simple input field where the user can input a website name. For for adding it, we will need a widget here, which will be simply, so we will write this comment here after this. Now we will be adding a simple input field widget. So for adding it, this will be simply self dot URL underscore bar, and this will be QURL widget here. So where we can type it something Q line edit. This is the widget. So after this, what we need to do is that once again we need to connect whenever we press enter. So this will be self URL bar, and for enter there is a constant here which is return pressed. So return pressed means that when you press enter, what action you need to perform. We need to perform this action, which is using the connect method. So we will be defining a custom function which will be navigate to URL. The same way that we have defined the home button custom method, we will define this custom method which is navigate to URL. Automatically the self variable will be passed here, and now what we need to do is that inside this method, the second argument will be passed, I think is passed. If you just see here, first of all we need to get the text which the user has entered. This is very simple. We will declare URL variable, and inside this we will say self dot URL bar dot text. So this will get the text which the user has entered. And now to go to the website, it is simply self.browser.set URL, and we will make use of QURL and go to that URL. That's it. And now if you launch the application, so you will see nothing will be there because we haven't added that widget. So now to add that widget, it is very simple. So we have this method here, which is navbar dot add widget, and we will add this widget here, which is URL bar. This needs to be self dot URL bar. So if you enter, so if you just, you will see this input field here, which is there. From this you can go to any website of your choice. If you write here my website codingsiksha.com, so it will load my website Coding Shiksha. You will see this is my blog website. Here I can change this to, let's suppose, free media tools. This is my tool converter kind of application. Sorry, this needs to be free, not 3 times C is coming. So you can see this is the website here. So you can go to any website of your choice, and then you can go to the home page. Reload button is also working. You can go to forward here like this. You can also go back. So one thing you will see here, if I press these buttons here, forward, back, this URL field is not updating to it. So if I click back, so it should go to youtube.com. So as I pressed here back, it should update, but it is not updating it. So for doing this updation process, it is very simple. There is a simple event which is passed whenever the URL has been changed. So we will be invoking that event here. This will be simply one line of code which is required here, which is this line. So we will write this: whenever URL changes, this event emits. So we will say self.browser.url changed. So whenever this event triggers, we need to attach a function. So we will make use of connect function, and we will make another function which will be update URL. This will be custom function. So now we need to define this function at the very bottom here. So indentation is important. So update URL, and self will be automatically passed, and you need to pass the second argument as q, which will automatically get passed with the website address. So now we need to simply update this, so which will be self.browser.set URL, and again we will make use of QURL. So inside this function you will see, sorry, this line you need to copy paste it. That's it. So now this will update the input field also. So now if you refresh it, so if I type any address here, google.com, if I click the forward button, if if I click the back button, you will see that this input field address will change here like this. If I click home button, you will see Google is changed here. So this is a normal browser we have built using 40 lines of Python code, using PyQt5 desktop app framework. All the source code regarding this application will be there inside video description. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and also comment on this video. And I will be seeing you in the next video.